Yo, 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 what up, everybody? A little impromptu live, real quick. Got a special guest jumping on tonight with me. Young, up and coming fighter out of Philly. I'm gonna let him introduce himself to y'all once he jump on. Real knowledgeable young brother, 57 Erron. What up, bro? Real knowledgeable young. Here he come right here. Um, Let me see, get him on here. Like the Martian, what up, bro? There you go.
Hey, how you feeling, man? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, you straight now.
Okay, good.
Get yourself. Get yourself. You good?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm straight. We
All
good.
right, good.
All right, let's rock. What's good with you?
Man, I can't call it another day. Just sitting down here, getting somewhere quiet. I went in my wife's work office because my kids is all loud running around.
Oh man, and I know the feeling, bro. I know the feeling. That's beautiful though. You know what I'm saying? That's good noise.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good noise. So listen, man. Introduce yourself to the people. Run your credentials real quick, and then we're gonna go right to work.
So my name is Erron JYD Peterson. JYD is for Junkyard Dog. I've been boxing for what has it been? 4 years now, I want to say. Um, yeah, I want to say it's been 4 years now. Um, I train under Breadman right now. Train under Breadman with Julian Williams, Kyron Davis. Um, Caleb Plant is on the team too. I ain't never sparred with him. We were supposed to, but I messed my hand up before we sparred. Like right after my first fight. But Caleb, he's under the same banner as us. Kuko, Zachary Ochoa, so solid team. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now out of West Philly. Like I said, I've been boxing for 4 years. Amateur background. I ain't have a big amateur background. I had 6 fights. I want to say 6 fights, 6 knockouts, I believe. 5 or 6 fights I had. Then I just started. I couldn't really get too many fights. I started sparring at. I started sparring world class fighters after that. You know what I mean? Whether it was Demond Nicholson, Kyron at that time, B.Y. Jennings a couple times, B.Y. Cool. I can't remember that kid name. He's the number one heavyweight in the amateurs. I went over there. He's the number one heavyweight in the amateurs. He a problem. He nice. I sparred with him a couple times. I just started getting real good work because I couldn't really get no fights in the ends. And from there, it just took off. I had started over at Fastlane. Until I had transferred over.
Was
But
I?
yeah, so it was good, John.
Okay. All right. So and you at middleweight, right?
Yeah, 160.
Okay. So what's your record right now?
Right now, I'm 4-0, 3 knockouts, 1 draw.
Okay. Yeah, I was at your last fight up there at the what you call it, the Newtown
Yeah,
Square, the
Newtown. Yeah,
sports center.
Newtown, PA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you was there, it was funny, right? The guy you fought, he was like a real pressure guy, good opponent. You build character off, right?
Yeah.
And I'm yelling, probe the jab, and you started probing the jab, and it changed the whole trajectory of the fight. You
Yeah.
remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because I remember my third fight. I had fought Dwayne Williams my third fight, and he got about 10 or 11 fights. He's a little bit of an upset guy, journeyman,
Yeah.
real rough fighter. And I remember everybody was telling me because that was only my third fight. Everybody, oh no, that's too early for you to take the fight. We ended up taking the fight. I won that fight, but I only took that fight off the strength of, I know that my role, especially because I don't got no big amateur background or nothing. Of course, me and my team moved me properly, but I took that fight because I already know my road ain't gonna be easy. So, what I mean, I gotta get a feel. You gotta get your feet wet at some point. With a good challenge. Sometimes guys they fight a real easy resume. Guys fight a real easy resume, and then when they get to a real fight, like the first time, essentially the first time you really get punched in the face, like the first time you get hit back, it shouldn't be in a big fight. Like that shouldn't be the first time you're being tested when you're on a big stage. If that's the case, then needs to be a move on. Like it shouldn't be a case where you got 20 fights and you fought a bunch of fallmen. And then when you get in that one big fight, everybody like, oh yeah, he going da-da-da. And then it's just like, damn, he wasn't really like that. And it's not that he wasn't really like that. It's just that he had too many fall men in front of him. So by the time he got hit back, he don't know how to react. So it's just, everybody move they guy differently, but it's just little things like that.
It's funny that you bring that up. That's actually a very profound statement. So for people who don't know, one of the reasons why I really wanted to have this young brother on is because not only is he a fighter, but as you can see, he's really well articulate, well thought out, and really good at breaking stuff down. And I feel like to get to another level, not that everybody got to be like some walking around, some walking computer, but I think you got to be able to retain information and, spit it out the way you punch it out, But you said something interesting, right? And this is Shane Mosley, right? I'm about to go to Hall of Famer, the whole resume, right? And I remember when he was fighting, I believe, Vernon Forrest, and he got cut for the first time, and he started bugging, he like, yo, I'm bleeding. And he started bugging out, because he was dominating everybody. You feel me? So even the great ones at that level, the first time they experience something, they don't even be knowing how to react sometimes.
It's and it doesn't make you a bad fighter if that happens. That's not what it is. It's just it's experience. You can train all day long. One thing you can't train is experience. In order to have experience, you gotta go through it. You know what I mean? Or you even get the guys who we call them gym heroes. Real good in spars, real good in the gym, but can't perform in a fight. Or you got guys who, unfortunately, they gave their whole career up in the gym. They gave their whole career up in spars because you sparring too hard. You sparring too much hard work. Like hard work doesn't always mean good work. Yeah, of course you need some challenge in spars. You do. Like you're gonna need some because you got you gotta see where to do hard is at. But sparring and fighting is two different things. And a lot of guys don't understand it. Them big gloves is different than getting hit with them 10s and 8s on. And that headgear, I remember my first fight, that was the first time I realized that the headgear is a target. Like you get so comfortable with sparring and you see somebody's headgear. Headgear is a target. But when that headgear comes off, it's like, oh, like shit, I'm in front of somebody. Like I'm like the headgear not there. Them gloves are smaller. So your defense might be sharp while you sparring. But if you're not used to fighting with them little gloves on, your defense it might not be the same way. So it's all a learning experience. And if you've never experienced it before, then you wouldn't know.
It's interesting that you brought up, and that's deep what you said about the headgear. It makes sense the way when you break it down to in layman's term like that. And my bro Guard Your Girl, he run up my other page and do all the digital content for us. And we come up and in the basketball, AAU wasn't out when we came up. It was like one or two AAU teams. You had the public league and you had a lot of summer league, right? And you had guys that would look like Michael Jordan in the playground, right? When it was nothing. But when we went under the whistle and it was referees involved, they went from Michael Jordan to Michael Jackson. It wasn't the same because everybody can't play under rules. It's guys panic, they get frantic. It's something about playing within the confines of rules. Guys just black out. And I'm glad you brought up that because you see a lot of guys doing mitt drills, shadow boxing, and then when they get in a fight, it's different. When a joker pressing you, got somebody like Marcus Madonna throwing punches from the ankles. You feel me?
See, the funny thing about the pad drills and stuff is this. I'll give you somebody, right? I'm not even going to use myself. I'll use Arthur Beterbiev.
Okay. Okay.
Arthur Beterbiev, you won't see Arthur Beterbiev on the pads doing all that fancy shit because it's not practical. In a real fight, nobody's going to let you just sit there and do that. Nobody's going to let you just sit there and like that's not really practical. Like if you doing it for the show off or if you doing it for like speed purposes or hand-eye coordination, that's fine. But that's not practical in a real fight. So you gotta know. Anytime you'll see pad work or bag work or anything that might be even posted on my page, it's not fancy. It's things that I'm going to do in a fight. I remember before I even got with Breadman, I remember my older brother. My brother is named Nelson.
Okay.
And he told me, even when he, so Naeem, he even around his 11-12 fight, he had fought Mickey Bay. He fought Mario Barrios. He fought a couple world-class fighters. He messed his shoulder up in the Barrios fight, which was a really competitive fight, but he was actually one on the cards with that fight. But all that to say, he had that world-class pedigree. And he always told me, bro, don't worry about that fancy pad work and all that, because the shit's not practical. We only will practice things if we're not doing it in the fight. There's no need for it to be practiced. It's useless information, and that's the truth. And when I got with Breadman told me the same thing. Like, you athletic and stuff, but you bring in 50 guns to a fight that only involve one gun. Don't trick yourself. Don't do too much. Stick to what's best for you and stick to that. So that's what he gave me. He told me, like, you come into the war with a sniper, a shotgun, a SMG, a pistol. We shooting at the dudes from 2 blocks away.
Right. This ain't the army. Right. Yeah. No, I got you. And that sounds like a very Breadman thing he would say too. And I'm glad that y'all was able to build a relationship. He has nothing but great things to say about you, and I can see why he would take a liking to you, because Bread don't just get down with any and everybody, and you know that. You know what I mean? So for him to come together and build this union, to start to develop and build what y'all got going on, that's a testament to you. And, obviously I know your dad, where you come from, and it shows. Like, anybody that's watching it and hear you talk, because the first time I heard you talk, I'm like, damn, who young boy? Like, because I didn't know you was a fighter if I saw you on a live, and then all the connection came in at, who your father is and all that. But so let's get back into the science of this thing. So, we talked about your fight and how you was using the jab and you was probing, creating distance, and that all attributes to those simple technical fundamentals, And listen, don't get it wrong. We're not saying that there's anything wrong with bags and working on drills, but make sure you're working on basic stuff too. You know what I'm saying? Let me bring E in here, but so I want to talk about some stuff that's going on in boxing, because you got an ear close to the streets when it comes to this stuff. There you go.
What's up?
My dog, what's up, bro?
What's good, Junkyard? What's the dope? Yo, shout out to Junkyard. Shout out to Pop, man. This Pop is biggest fan. Shout those boys out, man. And I be seeing you working hard, bro.
Right, man.
You working hard. You ain't Eli, man. Y'all boys gonna be
beat. Yeah.
Shout y'all boys out for real.
Yeah. Hey. Shout out Elijah Vines, man. Follow Eli and follow Underground Boxing too, man. And Gardner Grill.
Show me some love, please. Shout out to Gardner Grill. That's my brother for real. Shout out to you, bro. Yo, so I just got onto the conversation. I just got on. I don't really know what y'all was really talking about, but I'm just trying to get a part of the conversation right quick.
Absolutely. You always got a home here, bro. This is this family right here. So what
you already know.
So when what we trying to now we tapping into what's going on, current events, right?
Yeah.
So we got a traffic jam going on in boxing, right? I'm gonna exclude the heavyweights. I'm gonna do this like a basketball conversation. We're gonna exclude the big men and talk about the guards and the forwards and all that. So from 122, literally, up to 175, we got a traffic jam. Now, let's start with the lower guys at 135. Devin left. I'm gonna get your opinion. I'll go with
Okay.
you, Aaron, first. Devin left the
Okay.
division. He's moving up to 140. So you got Javante still there, hanging in the balance. You got Frank Martin there, and you got the big fish, the other big fish,
Shakur
Shakur
Stevens.
Stevenson. So how you think this? You think all these fights will materialize at 135, or we gonna see these later in a higher weight class?
What I feel like is this. I feel like I was explaining to my wife the other day. You gotta remember if it makes business sense. And she was saying to me like, "Oh, I think XYZ fight should be there because that's what the people want." And I said, I understand what the people want, but when the people want a fight that's going to pay you $7 million, but you want a fight that's going to pay you $50 million, you are going to take the $50 million. And I'm
Exactly.
the first one to tell you that. So
right.
what I'm going to say is this. And everything I say is respectfully, and I'm not going to get on here and don't talk no world-class fighter because let's be frank. I have not fought on that level yet, so I am down talking no man who has been on that level. Boxing is a very humbling game. If you don't humble yourself, it will fucking humble you. So with that being said, I do believe that I do like what Devin Haney is doing because he's pushing for big fights, but I also believe that Tank beats all of them. I believe Tank beats all of them. That's no disrespect to none of the other fighters.
Speak it.
I think Tank beats all of them. I think what's next after that? I do think Shakur Stevenson is right after Tank. And the funny thing about Shakur Stevenson is this: he is master distance, beautiful boxer, etc., etc. My thing with Shakur Stevenson is this: if him and Tank does materialize, I'm only afraid that he will not have enough to keep Tank off of him. The problem with that is, once Gervonta Davis knows you can't hurt him, it's going to be a really, really rough night. So my whole thing is, when you're dealing with fighters of that caliber, I think that it's not about what you do. It's about what you don't do. It's about the mistakes that you don't make. That is what's important. They both do shit well. Who cares about what they do well? Let's talk about what they don't do. Let's talk about the mistakes they don't make. Let's talk about, we got to focus on that because one thing that the Terrence Crawford, and I know I'm jumping, but one thing that the Terrence Crawford,
you flowing, go.
The Terrence Crawford Errol Spence fight showed us, and I had right round, wrong man. I thought Spence was going to win, but what I am saying is, one thing that fight has taught us is this: Errol Spence does so much shit well, but Terrence Crawford said we just gotta neutralize his jab, and that's gonna bring out everything that he don't do. And that's what he did, and he made the fight respectfully. He made the fight look fucking easy. And that's my take on it. I do think that Tank beats everybody, and I think Shakur Stevenson is right under Tank. I do think Shakur Stevenson is second in that topic, but I think Tank is number one, and I'm going to shut the fuck up, and you go ahead.
No, hold up. Go ahead, E. I know you got
I'm just saying, if you done.
And bro did say he had Terrence Crawford, I believe. You said you had Crawford.
No, he did. No, he picked Crawford. I picked Spence.
Yeah. Bro said Crawford. We talked about that at the fight.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm happy y'all noticed that y'all was the first person who DM'd me.
Hey, E, you're joined staticky. You're joined staticky, E. I don't know if you're on the Bluetooth.
Sound now.
You still staticky.
How I sound now? I'm good.
How you sound?
You sound better on my end.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so listen. I picked Terrence Crawford from the gun bus. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna lie, I was an Errol Spence fan, and I still am an Errol Spence fan, but he got one style. And this is I'm going to Shakur Stevenson over Tank. Sometimes it is not the power, it's the aggravation of the fighter. If he just keep getting tagged by Shakur, he's going to get aggravated. He's going to get aggravated, especially being under that pressure. If you look at Elijah Pierce and Tank's spar, even though it was years ago, he got agitated because he was getting caught, and that's why he was hitting with all them sneaky shots. So just imagine you got Shakur Stevenson doing this now. Now he can hit you Shakur Stevenson beat 135 pounder. And 2, he about to fight Lomachenko. I got a video where he said the only person trying to fight him is hopefully Lomachenko do take the fight. Why Tank not trying to take this fight right now? 135, that's a big fight.
So hold up.
That's a money-making fight, brothers.
No.
Big money too. Not 10 million, not 20. Them boys might work on like 30, 40 million a piece. Easy. Easy.
So Aaron got a good he got a good grasp on how the business works. Do you think this fight ready yet? You can be honest. Do you think this fight ready from a business perspective?
What I'm going to say is this: I feel like it's not cut and dry, and I only say it's not cut and dry because it is. Shakur Stevenson, as talented as he is, he's not the most exciting fighter in the world. So
yes,
you still got to remember, business-wise, Tank is going to ask for a certain percentage because Tank is going to be the reason why motherfuckers come out. Because let's call it what it is. Tank can fight a goddamn stop sign and go and fill up the house. And that's just the truth. So he's going to ask, business-wise, he's going to ask for numbers that I don't think Shakur would agree to at the moment. And that's what makes it difficult. But I see a comment that says Tank gets hit too much for to deal with Shakur. That is all good. I understand that Tank might get hit too much, but understand this. If you hitting that guy, and we still got to remember, Tank is great at cutting off the ring. Like, let's not overlook the fact that he's great at cutting the ring off. So he's not like one of these, no disrespect, Mexican fighters who don't have the best feet in the world. Tank is going to cut the ring off. And it's not about Shakur, it's not about Tank getting hit too much. It's about when Tank's in the we're saying that Tank get hit too much. Tank just won his last fight and only landed 10 punches. He landed 2 punches per round and won. So you gotta understand, Shakur won't be able to take when Tank hits him, because I promise you Tank is going to hit him. No one is going to say, I'm going to fight Tank and not get hit for 12 rounds. That's not possible.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it like this. If Tank fights Shakur at 135, man, I'm telling y'all this now. I hope you record this and I hope you post this. If Tank
of course,
it's going to be another replay of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, man. It's going to be. I really feel like, because he already had a problem making 135, bro.
Bro, that's a big statement to make, bro.
He might not get beat up as bad, but I think he might get stopped, bro. Like on some real, like yo, shout out to Top Rank, man, because everybody was disrespecting Top Rank and they fighters and all that. Shout out to those Top Rank. I'm telling you, and I like Tank. I love Tank. It's the DMV. You got the Gary Russells. You got Short Dog who just won. He had an amazing win, but I really don't think Tank gonna beat this bullshit core, man. And that fight made me a believer, bro. That fight with Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, it opened up a lot of people's eyes, man. It really made me a believer, and I'm still gonna love Tank regardless.
Yeah.
I just think.
But Errol Spence is not the same fighter.
Just like what's name didn't take the fight. Pitbull Cruz didn't take the fight, and he took the fight. But when I talked to Shakur, he said, "No, bro, we sent the contract, and the contract was right. We were gonna make a lot of money." And his team didn't want to take that fight. He's a damn fighter.
It's a difficult.
That's a bad. But Pitbull and Shakur is a bad fight for Pitbull. Pitbull is not a good style for Shakur Stevenson.
It's a bad.
That's not a good. That's a bad style matchup.
Yeah.
And then you still got to remember with Errol Spence and Tank. Tank is not the same fighter as Errol Spence. Tank is not the same fighter as Errol Spence. Huh?
Yeah, I think what he's saying. I think what he's trying to say is that, like, the two clash of styles is going to bring out the best in Shakur. And just for the record, I'm with E. I don't think nobody. I just think Shakur is like one of these prodigies that come around like every 20, 30 years. Like, I just got so much information on him from a kid, from people working with him, guys like Jeff Rell, you know, guys that we know really well. And that don't normally mean anything, because the fight still got to play out. I think Gervonta's a generational talent. But for me, I'm always going to pick the better boxer, and between a guy that's a puncher / boxer. I'm gonna go with the guy that I saw do it without having to knock nobody out.
So my only thing to that is this. Before if you looking to move forward with any other fights, my whole
yeah. We got, because I got more I want to get into. Yeah, we could go all day with this.
Yeah, my whole thing is this. I remember sitting there watching Tank when he fought, and I'm not saying Ryan Garcia is on Shakur's level, so let's be clear on that.
Qualify yourself.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just saying this for the viewers.
Right.
And I'm also not shitting on Ryan Garcia. What I am saying is this. Shakur, I remember when I watched Ryan Garcia versus Tank with my folks, and I said, "Ooh, this is about to get bad." And I said, "Watch what Tank begins to do with his feet." See, people don't really understand it. Tank has this thing, right? And I'm gonna put it out there, you know, just in case no one else has picked up on it. Tank has this thing where I remember my brother told me, when you throw a jab, yo pop, when you throw a jab, it's not always to hurt somebody. You do got something called a rangefinder. And with the way Tank does it is so subtle. So what Tank will do is he'll take this subtle Canelo-like little hop step, like little step, and then at the same time, he'll reach out. He won't even throw the jab. Watch his last fight. Watch his last 2 fights. He does this shit often. He just reaches out and touches you. He doesn't even throw the jab. He just reaches out and touches you. And does it again and does it again. And that's him just downloading in his head, you can be touched. And then by the time he switches that speed up, because people don't understand timing is so huge in boxing. You got used to him just reaching out and touching you, because he doesn't even throw. He just fucking reaches out and touches you. And by the time he switches that speed up, boom, and that timing up, and really puts it down, you like, what the fuck? And next thing you know, you getting hit with shots that you don't see because you can't. Somebody in the comments said Tank doesn't throw enough punches. It's hard to catch a rhythm on the dude when he finally starts throwing and you ain't have his rhythm for 5 rounds. The nigga ain't give you no rhythm for 5 rounds straight, and now he's just giving you random rhythm, picking you off and breaking you down. I say this all the time. If I wasn't Muslim, I would worship boxing. You gotta understand the science that comes with this. It's not just as cut and dry as saying Shakur's gonna outbox him or Tank is just gonna beat him the fuck up. It's not that cut and dry.
No.
It's
you're
the
right.
little things.
Yeah.
It's the little things. I do honestly feel like Tank does remember when Shakur Stevenson fought that African guy, the African police officer guy? I can't remember his name right now.
Was it the one it was on ESP? I know what you're talking about. And they was go ahead though.
One, I feel like Shakur should have stopped him. But what did Shakur say? When he hit me a certain type of way, I felt he could punch, and then he just started moving. Gervonta Davis is not going for that shit. Say what you want. Tank not going for that shit. Tank not going to allow you to just do that. And Tank is not no Mexican that's just going to throw those pitbull type of punches where he just fall in every which way. Pitbull don't even use a jab. Pitbull just jumps in and throws a shot. Tank don't fight like that. This is not. Record this, like you said, record it and mark my words. This shit's not for that.
I love it.
But that's my end all be all of it.
All right,
so a great fight.
Now,
but Tank,
listen.
Go ahead.
Everything you said on the beat, look, it's 2 great fighters, so we can go back and forth. Like both of y'all got legitimate arguments, right? But so now we got to talk about reality, right? The reality is this: Gervonta will be 29 years old in December, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's 28, be 29.
True.
So obviously he'll probably take a tune-up because the year is almost over. He just came home from his little blackout that he did, and 2024. What's the play? Are we going blockbuster, catch weight, something crazy, or he gonna fight the guys in his respective weight class?
2024.
Well, you
go ahead. No, go ahead.
This year almost over, and you know when you talking boxing, you got to kind of look into the next year already. You know, because this year is almost over.
Well, what I will say is this: Tank is going to have really big fights next year. I'm going to shut up.
They talking about Chris Colbert though. You think?
No.
Oh, okay. See, now since you said it, I'm going to talk about it. since you said it, I'm going to talk about it.
Go ahead. Hey, go.
Chris, yes. Okay, Chris Colbert is a thing. Chris Colbert is absolutely a thing.
But that's the
I'm
thing,
not,
though.
I can't say nothing else.
Lost to, Tank just stopped him. So why is he moving backwards to fighting? Like, I don't think that should be a fight that he can even fight Lomachenko. I don't think he should fight him. I mean, that's just
but fight Lomachenko, why? Fight Lomachenko, why?
Because Lomachenko's still a top dog at 135. No?
Okay, I understand that, but fight, you still got to remember. Let's talk. If we're talking about reality, let's talk about reality. And
That's all I want to do.
Lomachenko is technically, and I still love Lomachenko. Don't you get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's technically on a decline. So either way, him fighting Lomachenko is still going to be the same essentially as him fighting Chris Colbert. If you feel like Chris Colbert is a step down,
Yeah, but
Lomachenko would be one too.
I don't see Lomachenko being this, because his last fight, a lot of people say he beat Devin Haney.
Yeah, he did, but you can see that
and
time.
The fight that he lost a lot of great fights.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Pop said he got top five guy.
He does got to fight a top 5 guy, and I'm saying that next year I got Tank down for fighting all these I got him fighting down next year. I got him down for fighting 3 to 4 times and knocking off 3 and 4 top dogs.
So I mean, at 135, he can fight Frank Martin. They both PBC. Frank Martin just came off amazing win. That's another fight I think he could look at there.
He's not fighting Frank Martin for what?
You don't think Frank Martin? You don't think Frank Martin?
I like Frank Martin. Wait a minute now. I like Frank Martin. But what does Tank have to gain from fighting Frank Martin?
What do we have to gain fighting Chris Colbert? Like,
okay, so because wait a minute, right now you guys still figure if we're talking about for next year, you gotta figure Frank Martin just came off a fight, and yes, everybody has rough days in the gym, so that fight does not define Frank Martin either. But Frank Martin didn't look the best in his last fight neither. So we're talking about essentially them fighting the same person. Like who if he fight one or the other, it doesn't matter. But he doesn't really gain anything fighting from either one. But if he's fighting Frank Martin, what does he gain from that? Frank Martin is still a dude whose name is getting better established, but his name isn't like that right now. How especially money wise, it's not like Frank Martin. Like nobody is going out there.
So let me make. I'm gonna make Aaron. I'm gonna put you because you already in promoter advisor mode. So you Aaron Heyman. You Heyman right now. You Aaron Heyman. You got some Heyman checks, right? So I'm gonna listen. We're gonna do a little role play here. So I'm gonna put you in an advisory role real quick.
Okay.
So give me a realistic 2-fight run for Javante that is A, good for business, and B, that will be appeasing for the fans from a competitive standpoint.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Hold on. E, let him go. I'm gonna run it back to you.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'll give you 3, and you can switch one.
Okay.
You said it. Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. And realistic, I'm gonna be honest. I think Shakur Stevenson is a better match for Tank than Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney. I think Shakur Stevenson is more competitive with Tank than Devin Haney is. So if let's just say Shakur Stevenson gets stopped in 9, Devin Haney gets stopped in 6. But also because he brings people out, man, and he's an attraction. See if Teofimo Lopez, dude.
I like that. No, I like that. I think he gets slept on in these conversations, to be honest with you. Now we moving up in weight though, because he's at 140. So
for the money.
I don't know. I don't think he can make it no more. The weight cut, it killed him.
Tank don't give a shit because Tank is bouncing from 35 to 42.
Yeah, that's what. That's all I'm
Haney,
saying. Man.
I mean, I like that. Loma Shakur Haney, my pop said. I mean, I like that, but I still feel like Loma's on a decline, so people still gonna have something to say.
Of course, that's how boxing works. You can't listen.
Okay.
We old enough. We've been around this thing where they talked about everybody. You can't you can't really make fights based on what they think. We just want to see him fight his peers. That's all.
I'm gonna do you one better. Let's make this more fun. Shout out to my nigga Steph. Shout out Cool Boy Steph. But I'm gonna call it what it is. Everybody acting like they want to talk about it. Let Naoya Inoue eat up and go up there because they said it. And I'm calling it what it is too. If Naoya Inoue was in a higher weight class, he would absolutely be the best fighter in the world. But I got it 1, Terrence Crawford, and 1A, Naoya Inoue.
So, all right, I'm glad glad that you brought that up because Floyd. When I put a post up, everybody laughed at me when I put it up because I know how boxing works. And to your point, Aaron, you on the beam. What you saying? The fight that make the most business sense. That's what they tend to go to.
Yes.
You remember people thought Pacquiao moving up to fight De La Hoya was real funny, right? It was funny. And even though De La Hoya had to come down in weight, but still, he moved up, and it was funny until it happened, right? So Floyd said this. Listen, Floyd said this out of his own mouth. Like, that's a fight we eyeing and we looking at. So,
listen. In a way, I'm gonna be honest with you. In a way, and Crawford is number 1 in the world right now for me. Is 1-1A.
Okay.
1-1A. People overlook Naoya Inoue because of the fact that he's from Japan and people don't really watch lower weight classes.
Yeah.
Wallahi Azim, that dude is special.
Yes, he is.
Special, and he is the truth. And it is
Crawford pound for pound number 1.
him and Crawford are tied. Him and Crawford are absolutely tied.
That's crazy.
Who you got at one?
Tell me why.
Who you got at one?
Bro, tell me why they not tied.
You said why they not tied?
Why they not tied for 1-1A?
Because I'm gonna keep it real, man. This is how I feel about the Inoue situation, man. I really feel like with the Inoue situation, I really feel like it's a bandwagon type situation with Inoue. And I'm not saying you ain't never like Inoue because you're a fighter. The people who know fighting knew who he was. But I really feel like it's a bandwagon situation. I really feel like if he would have lost to Cool Boy, nobody would care about him. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people being biased when they come to this guy. Like, don't get me wrong, I think he's a great fighter and everything too, but I just think everybody being biased because he beat what's his name? He beat Cool Boy. I promise bro. If he didn't beat Cool Boy, nobody would be talking about this boy, man. Nobody.
Okay, so when you say nobody has been talking about him, I know that there is no way in hell that you are referring to anybody who really watches boxing. He's
saying that he excluded people that follow. He's saying that the fans are kind of jumping in that don't really know.
Because like I said, they don't watch.
Not you in particular, brother. Not you.
He was like, hold up. He's like, hold up. He had to reach. He was like, he had to bring the thermometer out. Like, you want to check my temperature?
Checking no. Which is another that.
Naoya Inoue,
bro. Nobody didn't know who he was, man. And
listen. My father is in the comments right now. He will tell you right now. I've been talking about Inoue since forever, running his resume down and everything. Dudes just don't know Inoue because they don't watch boxing, bro. Inoue don't make mistakes for real. He is fundamentally sound. He can punch with both hands. His distance is ungodly. The nigga is a monster. He got 5 body shots under his belt where a nigga turned around and ran from him. And Nonito Donaire is one of them. He has people. Listen, people don't understand. Naoya Inoue, when you talk about the best body punchers in boxing right now, anybody who watching, do your homework. We got Inoue, Crawford, and Canelo. And that's my top 3 body punchers right now.
What about Jamel?
They are body mechanics. So when you talk about a guy like Inoue don't just throw body shots. Inoue trying to punch through your ribs and get from one side to the next with one shot. He is hurting niggas. Inoue is the truth. I stamp him. Shout out Cool Boy Steph because you took that challenge in Japan. I cried and wallahi, I sat there before I had to go handle something that I'm not gonna get into online right now. But my wife sat next to me and wallahi, I cried like a baby when he clipped Steph. I fucking cried like a baby when he clipped Steph because it fucking hurt my soul to see that, man. Because I got love for that dude.
You know what fucking hurt my soul and almost made me walk away from boxing? That Charlo that Charlo and what's the name fight? Charlo and Julian Williams fight.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Julian. My guy.
Shout out Julian
Williams. That's my guy
right
there. Yeah, good dude. Yeah. So listen, because we move. Listen, because we gonna wrap up soon. Because I gotta get y'all opinions on this. Well, I'll talk to E about it. I'm gonna get your opinion, and E can run it back again. But so at 147, We got it. It's the guards are changed. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Crawford, Spence, they're done. They're moving on. We got a guy here at the crib. We know who he is. Relinquished belts are soon coming. And this is the unfortunate part about boxing for a guy like Boots, right? And it sucks, right? When you coming in on a tail end of an era, and then the things that was supposed to be here, like a Virgil Ortiz, who said he's moving up to 154, because I thought that was going to be Boots' big money fight. So now 147 is a little tricky. So you're going to have these vacant belts be relinquished, but then what?
Okay, so
go ahead, Aaron.
what I'm
You
going
go
to say
first.
is this. What I'm going to say is this. Virgil Ortiz situation is so touchy, and I'm not going to get into it in case anybody doesn't know, but he does have some underlying issues.
And the health tip. My bad. You're right. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yes.
Yeah, let's clear that up first. Yeah.
So he does. Yeah. So he's not. He's definitely not. And thank you for Jerome for saying that, because you stole the words out of my mouth. Because Wallahi, I was going to say that verbatim. He's in an extremely awkward spot. Boots, that is. But yeah, Ortiz is in a weird spot because of health reasons that I'm not going into, and it's not my place. So I'm not.
All well. Yep.
That's why he's moving up, and I do advocate for him moving up. That being said, Boots is in such an extremely weird spot because he is going to make everybody. He has the Roy Jones Jr. effect. He's going to make everybody look like, damn, you don't even belong here, until he's in a position where he can fight one of those, you know, like we said, the Spences and the Crawfords and et cetera, et cetera. But what I will say is this. He's never, yes, that's true, Dan. He's never going to get a shot at Crawford because it doesn't make business sense.
Yeah, yes. Unfortunately.
I don't even think. Yeah, and I don't think he's going to get a shot at Spence either. No. But let's throw that. Let's just shelf them. What I will say about Boots is this. And one, I may be slightly biased, but I'm never overly biased when it comes to boxing. One, shout out Bozy and Boots. I have major love for both of them, and they got love for me. And I especially Bo. Bo is my old head. All love him and Boots, solid dudes. That being said, Boots is the most talented fighter, and I'll share the ring with him sparring a few times. Mm. So if we're talking about that, he is absolutely the most talented fighter that I've ever shared the ring with. And it's not so people. I don't know. There's a lot of people on here, so I'm sure people have watched Gilly and Wallow's $1 million worth of game. Yes, when Gilly was saying things like nobody just gets 12 rounds with him in the spar, they take turns four rounds at a time, and they ring rob and stuff and shit like that. I'm telling you it's the truth, not because Gilly said so, but because I was there. I was there. I was there. I was getting to work. That guy has a gas tank on him. His IQ is extreme. He's punching in both hands. And I'm a 60 telling you this nigga punching in both hands. He don't punch like 47. He don't punch like 47. I'm telling you that now. He's sharp. He can fight out of both stances fluidly. It ain't like he's thinking about it. Like, no, he does it fluidly. He is just in such an awkward state because these big fights elude him. And it was him that me and my wife was talking about, because she was talking about the Crawford fight as well. So I'm gonna tell you like I told her. Business-wise, I'm not fighting Boots when Boots is gonna make the biggest payday. Like I'm pretending to be Terrence Crawford.
No, go run with it.
It's going to be, yo, what up, Lee? Boots is going to make the biggest paycheck he ever made in his life fighting Crawford. If he wins it all. And if he loses, it's going to be, oh, well, he wasn't experienced enough anyway. That being said, Terrence Crawford has no win in this fight. He has everything to lose and no win. Plus, you still got to remember, he's going to fight, if he fights Charlo, he's going to make buku money versus him making great money against Boots.
Right.
He's going to make buku money against Charlo. So when you talking about, I'm going to make $20 million fighting you, or I'm going to make $60 million fighting Charlo, I ain't going to lie to you. Guess what? call me what you want, record it and all, screenshot this, and play it back in your story. Guess what? I'm ducking you. I'm a bitch. I'm scared of you. I'm all in. You know why? Because 60 million looks a lot better than 20 million. And I done fought. I done unified the division. I done did everything I wanted to do. You mean to tell me I got to step back and fight you when I did everything I want to do and I'm on my way out the door? Guess what? For that $50 million, I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch and I'm going to go fight you. But I'm a bitch about to fight Charlo. About to fight baby Charlo.
How old are you again, Aaron? How old are you?
28.
You're 28. Okay. You got people way older than you that can't concept and comprehend everything you just said.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Like,
bro, I got not to cut you off, but I got a full career ahead of me right now.
Okay.
If they called me the week of Canelo fight and told me main man dropped out, we need somebody, and we got 10 million for you.
Right.
Guess what? Put me on.
Nigga, nigga, you better call me shit and go with you.
What you talking about? Put me on ESPN. Put me on all that. Put me whatever you want to. Because guess what? I got a full career ahead of me. And he got clipped by Canelo. Sure did. Do you need my account number and my routing number? Do you need my account number and my routing number? Because I'm going to make sure you got it. And then I'm going to come back to 160 and I'm going to do my thing. You fucking right. Everybody can talk, but guess what? Instagram and Twitter and Facebook is not a real place. Everybody can talk.
Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
You hear me? Listen, until you see $10 million in front of you, don't tell me what the fuck you not going to do. Don't tell me what
Zoo. Did you hear that, Tim Zoo? Did you hear that, Mr. Zoo?
Come on.
Tim Zoo.
Tim Zoo can be mad all he want to be. Tim Zoo can be mad. Listen, guess what, Tim Zoo? Be mad and take the belts. I'm not worried about that.
He getting the belt. Listen. He getting the belt.
I give the belts to my landlord. I can't say, but guess what, bro? I just won it.
Right.
Nigga, please.
All right, so listen. Hold up, Egan. Let me get you. Dave, that was well said. You killed that. So they cracking up too, by the way. So listen. So now transitioning to Canelo and Charlo, right? This is, and I feel bad now. Bud is in a tricky situation too, somewhat, because the Canelo fight, in my opinion, messed up Bud's situation. Because let's break it down real quick. Charlo's moving up 14 pounds, right? Yeah. You know, coming back in weight, it's much harder coming down than going up, especially when you in a physical fight with one of the best fighters in the world. So how you just give me your scenario for Charlo. How you think this gonna play out? You think he gonna come back down and fight Bud?
I mean, he should, because the money gonna be right.
Of course, yeah.
Like when it comes to that bread, like, and we talking big money. This ain't little money. We talking big money. Like
he said, give it to his landlord.
we talking 40, 50 million, bro. I'm coming down. Right out there, Canelo. And that's the good thing about Charlo. It don't matter if he win or lose this fight. He still get to fight Crawford.
So we gonna be back out Vegas, is what you're telling me. So we gonna be back out Vegas?
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if he win or lose against Canelo. This can be his worst fight ever. And him and Terrence Crawford will fight in May.
All right. Plot twist. Hold up. Plot twist for both of y'all. Jamel beats Canelo. Is he moving down then?
If Jamel beat Canelo,
hold on. Go ahead.
He's not gonna get that big money unless he fighting Crawford. Benavidez playing. He's not gonna get the same money he is beating Crawford, because Crawford beat Earl Spence, and the world want to see Crawford fight one of the Charlo. It don't matter, Jamel or Jamal.
Did I mention that? He said it. He said it.
It's definitely so I'm gonna do one better just to make people unbiased in the comments in case somebody got something to say. So Deontay Wilder just knocked out Helenius a little less than a year ago, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know Helenius got paid for that fight, right?
Yes, he did.
Helenius just fought last week.
Yo!
And then they said, fight AJ. Listen to me and understand what I'm trying to tell y'all, because at me in the world, and I need y'all to understand this. Deontay Wilder knocked this man out cold, right? And that big ass check came through. And then they listen to me. I'm gonna pretend to be Helenius. They knocked me out, right? And then I just made $30 million from that fight, right? And then they said, "Hey, yo, listen, go home and rest up. Next month you're gonna fight AJ for $60 million." I don't give a fuck about a concussion. My head hurt. You know why?
Yeah.
Because I can pay for a new brain. With $100 million, I can buy a new brain.
Oh.
I'm not worried about that.
Listen, no, these balls. I mean, keep it real, bro. These balls really be messed up, bro. Like you don't want to kill you. Like these, you gotta want to enjoy your money, bro.
I know what he's saying,
You know what I'm saying?
though. I mean, he's
course,
stretching.
but what I'm saying is, for Charlo, if he beat Canelo, so what? If he loses to Canelo, so what? He's still going to fight again for a big check versus Crawford. And that's the performance Crawford had.
Right,
Niggas are going to sell their children to go see Crawford fight again. It's the truth.
I know I'll be back out there, especially for that, because that's another historical matchup.
Like, everybody want to see this fight. Like, first of all,
you're right.
They played it good. That's why I love the Charlo twins, man, because they make you want to watch they fight. And this fight right here, when Crawford was talking to Charlo at the fight in the ring,
that was hard. That was hard.
Like,
he told him, pick your man up.
Yeah.
You next.
Yeah.
I said, no.
It's just, listen, Roberto Duran did the same thing to Wilfredo Benitez.
Yep.
After the fight, when they was reading the cards, when he fought Ray Leonard the first time, that was hard. That was hard, But
super hard.
Anyway, all right. Before I go, let me get some predictions for tomorrow for this Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. By the way, he looked drained. Navarrete, he looked. I don't know, and he came from flyweight all the way up here.
I got Oscar Valdez tomorrow, and I got Gary Russell tomorrow too. Antoine Gary Russell.
Why is Gary? Hold up, real quick. This is the only thing frustrates me about boxing. Sometimes the way some of these guys are being handled. Gary Antoine Russell is on the third lineup of the card, so he's the first. Like, I feel like his career should be a lot more further. He the second? Oh, I thought maybe I read it wrong. Okay, because I'm like, damn, like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, but
that's another boy who don't get enough respect. You know what I'm saying? 16 knockouts of the GYGB.
That's why I'm like, we got, and that's what we here for, to pump these dudes up, man, because they need the proper,
Yeah, Antoine is like that. Antoine like that for real. And honestly, your predictions is the same as mine. That Navarrete fight is crazy because when these two styles, I mean, we're not going to get a boxing match to be.
No, we're not. You're not even putting a credit card in the middle of these two.
Yes,
no room.
They might as well go ahead and put them in a phone booth and have them stand in the middle of a tire while they at it and just tell them have fun.
It is in Arizona, so it is going to be a Western theme, right? It's cowboy joint. It's bang, 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 bang. You know what I mean?
This is definitely going to be a gun back and forth joint. But my whole thing is Oscar Valdez's defense better than Navarrete's? And I think that's going to be, I would say yes, and I think that's going to be the determining factor of the fight. I don't think it's going to be a clear, concise, I think they're going to be going at it, and somebody's getting clear.
I like how you said that. Like a clear, no.
Yeah, no. It's going to be, what I'm going to say is this. Don't judge the fight.
It's good.
Listen.
Don't judge the fight. Somebody's going to sleep.
So I know I trying to get off this joint. Just let me roll short.
My wins looking at me like, all right, wrap it up. I could do this for hours. Y'all know that. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if Charlo beat Canelo, where do we put him at? See, we have a lot of fights where we got to pit people in certain places. If Charlo beat Canelo, where do we got to put him at on a pound-for-pound list?
Oh, he going up like 2, 3 for me. He already on my list.
He at least got to be 2.
He said, no, but you just said anyway in Terrence Crawford, but you said they neck to neck, right?
Look, he can't let that go. He got to
because there's a lot of big, like if Devin Haney beat Regis programs, like where we pick Devin Haney at? These are great.
Like where do we pick these?
Because everybody is throwing these guys up on pound list right now. I never seen
No,
how many
you bring up a good point.
That's what I'm saying. Where are we pitting all these guys at?
All right, listen.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna end
Let
with this.
Y'all forget
let him close out. Let him close out.
Why is Tyson Fury not on the pound for pound list for these guys?
I don't like putting heavyweights on there. That's why. But I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna let you go because I know your wife about to rip your head off. So I'm gonna close with this.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I'm gonna close with this. The Regis Prograis Devin Haney fight. I'm gonna be candid with it, I guess. Boxing is what have you done for me lately, and you still got to look at what's going on. So when Regis Prograis fought Josh Taylor, he didn't win. And I'm not saying, to be clear, I'm not saying Regis Prograis is a bad fighter or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. He didn't win against Josh Taylor. He didn't look good in his last fight.
At all.
And now Devin Haney's about to get him. You want to look at a guy like, and I'm just throwing his name out there for a reason. Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell always got there and never won. So if we're talking about Regis Prograis, is Regis Prograis also another guy like that? So where does that put Devin Haney realistically? It puts him in the same place as it put him when he beat Kambosos. Kambosos pulled what the hell was his name? Who beat Mike Tyson? I'm sorry. Buster Douglas. Kambosos had a Buster Douglas moment, I guess, against Teofimo.
Extremely reckless in that fight. Not to take anything away from Kambosos, but yeah,
that's my point. So I'm just where does it put him for beating Regis Prograis? It puts him where he's at. Like, and that's not taking nothing from Devin Haney or.
All right, listen, we gonna run this conversation back.
Yeah,
so I see you laughing like. Because we'll go. All three of us. This is like
we're going forever, bro.
No, we're gonna listen. E, well, you join. I know you every day with it. So
yeah, I've been trying to be every day with it.
Yeah, I know how you do. So we gonna look. Let's run it back.
Tattoo. Shout out Kyron Davis. That's my dog.
Kyron, respect, bro. Much respect to what you're doing.
Out there doing at work right now.
E, I appreciate y'all. This is great conversation. We're going to run it back, and we're going to continue this pound for pound, because that's a show within itself. Y'all knew that.
Yeah.
All right?
Sir.
Don't get beat up, man. Don't get beat up by your old lady tonight, man. Go ahead.
No, y'all, listen. You ain't hit me with a tooth. You see me in a roll. Yeah? I'm in my Georgie Benton right. I got the Benton roll right now. All right, y'all. All right, salam, bro.
Bro.